been in the retail business for many years. We started our first store, which is Bobby's Sport Shop in Vermilion Bay. We started that in the 80s. We started that store from scratch. We built it and ran that for many years, and we got out of the retail business for a while, and then COVID hit and we were stuck. We were really in a bad situation. We had all of our pilots and all of our airplanes, and it hit us really, really hard, and we're going to be many years recovering from that here yet.
We were done with stores, done with gas stations, and then COVID came along, and we didn't have, any business at our camps and outposts, and that's really where we sell all of our live bait and whatnot. So it was time to pivot and get back into the retail space. In 2020, they started the store in Dryden.
I'm Maddie, and I just started here a couple months ago. I love working for Clark's. This is probably the most fun and cool job I've ever had. It's always something different, it's super exciting, and the chaos of the busy holidays with fishing is unlike anything else.
And shortly after, they opened the store in Red Lake. Somewhere along the way, they bought the gas station in Balmertown. Then last spring, 2023, we were approached about starting a business in Vermilion Bay at the corner there. So obviously my parents wanted to do a bait and tackle store. That's what they know, that's what they do. But my dad asked, what else can we do at that corner? So I said, well, let's make half of the store in Vermilion Bay into the bait and tackle shop, and the other half will be where we can feature local artisans and sell locally, handcrafted giftware. So we named half of the store the Village Trading Post. The other half is Clark's Bait and Tackle.
My name is Marilyn Ross, and I've worked here since May 5th of 2023, since we originally opened the store. On a normal day in the summer, it's very busy and it's steady. Minnows, gifts, things. It's very busy, and you meet a lot of interesting people.
We also, in February, opened a store similar to the one in Vermilion Bay in Sioux Lookout. And that one is along the same lines. So our store in Sioux Lookout is half bait and tackle shop and half Village Trading Post. And it's been going great.
So the minnow trapping, my dad started it in the 50s, late 50s, and he was actually one of the very first guys that actually caught minnows and sold them to the tourists. So this industry is not very old. It started in the 50s, and in those days it was all bull work. I mean, it was really, really tough work. I mean, nothing compared to what we do now.
That one there closes pretty tight. That's pretty tight. A friend of mine happened to be in the bait business, and he sort of talked me into it, and so I jumped into it and back in '58 and come out here. My wife already had this place. It belonged to her parents at the time. She was born here, and we started our business here, our bait business. Back in those days, we really didn't have the equipment that we have today, so it was a matter of walking all the time, portaging, and doing everything by foot rather than by ATV or aircraft as they use today. These yokes here are all hand carved, and you carve this groove out here to fit your shoulders on here, and this is for the back of your neck here. Now this one here, like I said, is a replica, so it is not exact fit for my shoulders. Back in the day, you carved it out until it was a perfect fit. You could put it on then. Let's see if I can draw this. This is how you pack them out. Sometimes you'd have 2 buckets on one side and maybe an outboard motor hanging on the other side. And you would keep going from one lake to another over portages by foot. By the water, you'd use your canoe or a small wooden boat. Every time you crossed the portage and you got to a new stretch of water, you'd have to stop and you'd have to take the buckets off and change all the water on the minnows and everything so that you could make it across to the next one. And back in those days, we didn't have oxygen, anything like that, to help keep the minnows alive while we were transporting them.
When I got into it, the ATVs came in. I remember the first ATV, the 3-wheeler and that was like golden to us. We bought a couple of 3-wheelers and started hauling our minnows through the bush and cut trails, and that helped us out a lot. I soon realized to expand in this business, I'd have to get my pilot's license and fly to get around quicker and more efficiently, and access more lakes and do things in a better way. I've developed a really good bait for my minnow traps here. The guys make it for me here, and I make these balls here. It's actually ground up pasta, and we wet it and make little balls, and we put one of those balls in each trap right there, and that's what brings the minnows in.
That's a bait ball.
I've been looking for the right guy to take over and take some of the weight off of me, and it's been tough, but I think I finally found the right guy, and we're training Jeremi right now. He's doing a fantastic job. I mean, the guy is very dedicated, very good pilot, and a very hard worker. So yeah, I got big hopes for him, and I'm going to do all I can for him to get him fully trained and up and going, and so far it's going really good.
So I started my first year here with Wins, as I said before, 4 years ago, or so. Yeah, 4 years ago, and Wayne has such a big operation and such a big volume of minnow. Usually people who trap minnows, you know, it's a couple gallon at a time or a couple dozen, but with all the store and everything he has going on, he gotta bring a lot of minnow back. That's a trap that we make in winter. That's the most of our job here in the winter. So I think, I'm not too sure, I think it's a Wayne design, or anyway he took ideas from somewhere else and he modified to make his own. Works really good. So we buy a big roll of wire, cut a little square, first it's making a barrel, then we put a hand cap right there, then we do a funnel, then we do a little door here to be able to take them out of the trap. And we got the rope here. The rope is used like this one because we got a floater, a little styrofoam. So from there we're able to gauge the depth of our trap, which is really important. So making a trap is a lot of steps. Yeah, it's a lot of steps, a lot of work. We paint them so they don't rust, they last longer. And yeah, it looks pretty easy, but it's a lot of work. Yeah.